You feel it in your chest, an electric impatience coursing through your veins, whispering that today cannot slip by without meaning. The sunrise may break quietly upon the horizon, but within you a tempest stirs. You are not satisfied with comfortable mediocrity. You were not born to drift with the current. You were born to forge rivers where none existed. Your mind is a battlefield, and every thought you entertain is either an ally or an enemy. Victory begins the moment you refuse to let excuses raise their banners within your consciousness. Success does not negotiate. It does not pause when you feel fatigue creeping into your muscles or boredom anchoring your thoughts. Success demands obedience to discipline, to purpose, to the relentless march of action. Your internal dialogue, that thin voice that begs for rest, must be silenced by a heavier, more resolute command. Show up. Push forward. Triumph. This is not a plea, it is an order. Force your mind to obey, and you will discover there is no obstacle too steep, no dream too grand, no moment too late. Feel that tension where comfort once lulled you into complacency. That's the crucible of transformation. Every time you choose discomfort, cold showers before dawn, weight on your back, words refuse to the skeptic in your skull, you hammer another link into the chain of your self-mastery. In discomfort, you find your edge. In resistance, you forge resilience. In pain, you unearth power. This is the essence of modern mastery, to see each challenge not as a threat, but as a sacred invitation to ascend. And so you begin with your mindset. Mindset is the hidden architect of everything you build. It is the lens through which you interpret every event, victory, or defeat. A fixed mindset shrinks before failure. A growth mindset sees failure as feedback, as a blueprint for innovation. When Thomas Edison tested 10,000 ways that won't work, he didn't record defeats, he documented progress. Each filament that burned out was a lesson about materials, about insulation, about patience. He obeyed a deeper conviction that every no whispered by the world was nothing more than a stepping stone toward his incandescent yes. Cultivate your own incandescent conviction. Every morning when doubt lurks in your thoughts, illuminate it with the belief that your potential is not a finite resource, but an infinite horizon. Replace I can't with how can I. Replace maybe someday with right now. Command your neurons to fire in patterns of possibility, and you will trace new paths through your prefrontal cortex, wiring your brain for audacious achievement. Your belief is the spark, mindset is the tinder. Stir the flame until it roars into an unquenchable blaze. From belief flows clarity. Clarity is the sculptor's chisel carving the formless mass of your desires into a shape you can see, touch, and pursue. Napoleon Hill taught the power of a definiteness of purpose. Today, we modernize that teaching by demanding crystal clear intention, not a vague longing to be successful, but a specific commitment to generate $100,000 in revenue by December, or publish my first novel before next summer, or master the art of public speaking within 6 months. Clear goals force your subconscious to align every resource at your disposal, time, talent, and tenacity toward their attainment. So write it down. Place it where your tired eyes see it before you strike another key or lift another weight. The act of writing embeds that goal beneath your conscious mind, transforming it from a distant wish to an internal mandate. Your clarity becomes your compass amid the chaos of daily life. When distractions swirl like storm-driven leaves, when your energy falters, that written purpose stands immovable, a beacon guiding you back to true north. With clarity in hand, turn your gaze toward vision. Vision is the canvas on which you paint your future, using every color of emotion, hope, hunger, exhilaration, and even the sting of past defeats. See yourself victorious, feel the roar of an audience awakening to your words, the weight of the championship trophy in your palm, the satisfaction of sharing wealth and wisdom with those you love. Vision is not idle daydreaming, it is a form of rehearsal for reality. When your brain rehearses success over and over, your muscles, your habits, and your spirit begin to perform as though the outcome is already written. But vision needs fuel: purpose. Purpose is the gravitational force that keeps you bound to the mission when the terrain becomes treacherous. Purpose is not a trendy hashtag or a catchy slogan. It is the deep conviction that your existence hinges on the mission you pursue. Walt Disney risked bankruptcy and ridicule because he saw a world where imagination could unite families, spark wonder, and inspire generations. He endured homelessness, business failures, and naysayers because his why was louder than their doubts. When you define your purpose to create educational experiences that ignite young minds, or to provide financial freedom for my family, or to heal others through my art, you summon a power that eclipses discomfort. Discipline is the engine that converts purpose into progress. Discipline is waking at 4:30 a.m. to write when the world still dreams. Discipline is saying no to the extra slice of cake or the aimless scroll through social media. Discipline is the silent oath you make to yourself at dusk, promising that tomorrow you will still show up regardless of how you feel. Ford Motor Company didn't revolutionize transportation because Henry Ford felt enthusiastic every morning. He revolutionized it because he refused to yield to inconvenience. Each assembly line innovation, each efficiency tactic was born from disciplined choices: less talk, more action. Action must be relentless. Action breaks the inertia of intention and propels you into the realm of results. It is not enough to plan or to dream, you must move. Even a small step, if taken consistently, will carry you beyond the horizon of your worst doubts. When Carol Dweck studied elite performers, she found that what set them apart was not innate talent, but purposeful practice, consistent, deliberate action aimed at honing their craft. They weren't performers, they were practitioners. And every practitioner knows mastery is not an event, but a process. A process fueled by thousands of tiny, persistent actions. In the furnace of action, cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is the cooling balm for the smoldering heat of ambition. It reminds you that every struggle, every setback carries a gift, a lesson, a relationship, a new skill. When Napoleon Hill interviewed Andrew Carnegie, Carnegie emphasized the importance of gratitude, that no amount of success can extinguish the joy of humble beginnings. Gratitude turns effort into fulfillment. It lubricates your drive with joy, ensuring that you never burn out in pursuit of your burning why. Yet the path ahead will twist and turn. External forces, markets, mindsets of others, unforeseen crises will test your resolve. Here, adaptability becomes your superpower. Like water flowing around boulders, you must bend without breaking, reshape strategies without losing sight of purpose. When Steve Jobs was ousted from Apple, he did not crumble. He created Next and Pixar, sharpening his vision until he returned stronger than before. Adaptability is not a detour. It is the shortest route to your destiny when roads collapse beneath your feet. And always remember resilience. Resilience is not the absence of suffering, but the art of rising time after time from the ashes of failure. It is the secret handshake among visionaries: Edison, who celebrated every failed filament; Lincoln, who survived personal tragedy and political defeat; Oprah, who turned a childhood of poverty and abuse into a global platform for empowerment. They didn't avoid storms, they learned to dance in the rain. In your darkest nights, when the world seems determined to extinguish your spark, resilience is the cloak that shields your flame, whispering, "Rise." Learning is your compass. Every setback is a syllabus, every triumph is a case study. Commit to lifelong learning, not as a checkbox on your to-do list, but as a breathing, living practice. Read voraciously. Seek mentors who challenge you. Embrace harsher feedback because it holds the scalpel that carves out your blind spots. The greatest leaders, Carnegie, Hill, Baldwin, did not rest on laurels. They chased the edge of possibility until their stories became legends. Stay hungry, stay humble, remain open. Let curiosity guide your pen, your steps, your conversations. When you adopt the mindset of a perpetual student, you shatter the ceiling of your potential. The moment you think you've learned enough, you suffocate your innovation. Crave new perspectives. Chase uncomfortable conversations. Celebrate the dissonance that forces you to rebuild stronger frameworks. And so you continue mindset, refined belief, unshakable clarity, unwavering vision, vivid purpose, burning discipline, steadfast action, unstoppable gratitude, grounding, adaptability, nimble resilience, impervious, learning, insatiable. You feel your heart pulse with the rhythm of progress, one beat for every lesson, one breath for every new horizon. This is not a speech, it is a summons. An unrelenting call to stand at the edge of your limits and then with a warrior's calm leap beyond them. You were born for this. Your mind is not a suggestion box, it is a command center. Issue decrees of possibility. Override the petty tyrant of doubt. Install the software of conviction, then watch your life, your career, your relationships, your legacy compile into a masterpiece of achievement. Today you choose to obey. Today you choose to master discomfort. Today you activate the unstoppable force within. The world bends to the will of the individual who refuses to quit. Will you let your mind drift into the realm of excuses, or will you seize the steering wheel, whisper that invincible command, and drive yourself toward the life you were destined to live? Show up. Push forward. Triumph. Continuous flow.